completely new tournament today.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, just because you were referring to the game between Gukash and Firouzja, as you were saying, there's that big tie with 50%, and all of those players in that field at 50% need one win, just one win to get themselves in the podium for the Grand Chess Tour. And for Ali Reza, in this field, nobody's weak. And that's absolutely clear. But you have to look at the field and say who's performing poorly, and that obviously is Nodirbek. Don't you feel when you're in MVL shoes that now because everybody else is performing well against Nodirbek, don't you get that nervous feeling that to stay in contact with your rivals, and you also have to win, which is asking a lot, right?
Yes.
I mean, this
with
guy,
black pieces especially?
right. So what kind of pressure do you put on yourselves when you're playing the tail end?
I think you have to stay objective. If you get a chance, get a playing position, then yes, you should put all the pressure and take a little bit of a risk. But if your opponent plays a very solid game, doesn't matter if they're performing poorly in the event, there's not much you can do.
And for me, honestly, I always felt like if I'm playing somebody in round 7 who is like on 1 out of 6,
For example,
Mm-hmm.
the funny part is, White's knight had already been on d5.
Yes.
Like it's coming back to d5.
actually quite remarkable. It's the second foray into 95 territory.
Right.
Yeah, this is a kind of a pleasant exchange. This is what I wanted to check. Because, yeah, I think you get mated here. Yeah, the problem is not rook takes a8. The problem is once the knight lands on g4, there's no way you can get rid of these pieces altogether. And 94 is coming in, h5, h4 is coming in, -3 on my board.
Nice.
So bishop g4, a kind of a way to distract white from whatever you're doing. And also creating, I think, a very strong threat of knight takes d5 and 94 with this perpetual pin.
Makes sense.
So machine goes knight d3, and you can maybe even consider going h6, h5, and like going all out on this, at least for the time.
Sorry, I don't like 93. We just played 95.
So what would be your choice here?
Bishop e3.
Bishop e3 I think probably allows immediate equality, right? We just go 95, cd5, 94, and you will have to take.
Yeah.
This is
Just to break the pin.
Yeah, you can't break the pin, otherwise you can never get to play h3. And yeah, I'm not expecting black to be much
we
better
already
here.
don't have any
Yeah, we just play
advantage.
queen b3, but
Yeah.
machine actually says black is better here.
Yeah,
which maybe are not surprising to bishops. Yeah. No, bishop g4 is a serious option. Yeah. Otherwise, you play something like bishop d8. Like your typical play here is bishop d8, rook b8, maybe hint at some b7, b5 play, maybe try to provoke a4, so that you are less worried about b2, b4 later. Because for white, everything is very, very ossified in the center. You either play for some f4 play, or I think more usually you go for like a3, b4 ideas on the queen side. And in that respect, provoking a2, a4 makes a ton of sense, because then if you want, you can seal off the entirety of the queen side. So the choices appear to be like this. This might not occur to you, but if it
hand movement. He's calculating with his finger.
Right.
Yep, king b2. It's gonna be a quick draw from
And
here.
now a very important decision in front of all of us. Who do we ask for an interview?
Whoever shows up.
Yeah.
King takes b3, instantly played.
Yeah, king
Right
c6, and yeah, important not to go forward. If you go forward, you lose. But a6, really trying to provoke king c4. No,
King a2.
no.
King a2.
What's king
It's
c4
far away.
losing?
Problem. Yeah, I guess. King b6.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
King b1.
King a2 was the only draw.
King a2 was the only draw. Yeah.
Not even king c2. Yeah, king a2.
And once I attended a lecture at the Seattle Chess Club by international master Herman Riemsdyk, and the lecture was on corresponding squares. And I think halfway through the lecture, I got lost. for the poor club players in the Seattle Chess Club, it was a rough lecture.
Yeah. Some of those examples are really mind-boggling. Yeah.
Truly.
You get some studies where there's a starting study with the white king on a2 and the black king on g8, and every single next move for the next 15 moves is the only move to win.
Right.
And you start by king a2, a1 or something.
Yes. Typically, Paul Benko liked to torture young junior players with these types of studies. And at last, c4. Well, this is not going anywhere.
No.
King c2.
Going to give us a
King
stalemate.
d2 draws.
And even king d2 draws. Only one move to draw.
Yeah.
He's played it. Only one move to draw.
Here it is.
Yes. Played it.
We're gonna finish this game
And-
with a stalemate.
Only one move to draw. And look at them furiously updating their score sheets. Again, only one move to draw. Wow. What a game and what a disappointment for MVL, as he had a winning position for quite a while, transposed into a king pawn endgame, a pawn up that is usually a win, but unlucky. It was a draw, and perfect defense, really perfect defense by Nodirbek.